And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Talk Now. I am Larry and I have Max here today. We are talking about all things crypto. We've got a good show planned for you today. There's so many great things that we want to talk to you about. It's going to be a jam-packed show, but we also want to hear from you, the viewer, whether you're a subscriber or not. Please drop in the comments section below and let us know what you would like to talk about. And at some point during the live stream, there's a strong chance we will talk about what you're looking to talk about. We want this show to be about what you want to talk about as well. So how are you doing today, Max?
I'm doing pretty good, Larry. Glad to be back on the show. We're going to be covering a few topics at first before we bring on one of our guest speakers who's going to be joining us in half an hour for a particular project. So stick around and we'll get around to showing you what that's all about and addressing a certain concern in regards to that. But hopping right into it, do you happen to have anything that strikes you on crypto bubbles right now, Larry?
Yeah, I have a lot to talk about. I could have done the whole show with just me talking about what I want to talk about, but I want to be fair to you because this is our show. I want to be fair to our viewers as well. But I got to tell you, I'm actually excited. I know a lot of people might think I'm crazy. I get excited for times like this when things are on sale because I start to look at the top 100 and I start to tell myself, okay, I know that a lot of these are established projects. I feel comfortable with many projects that are in the top 100, more specifically the top 50. And I've already invested in a bunch of them. What can I load up my bags on? What can I buy a little more of? Dollar cost average into, buy the dip, whatever you want to call it. So I will tell you, I ought to grab my phone. So on crypto.com, what I did last night, like in the middle of the night, I just couldn't sleep. And I did go in. I'm going to go into my account here. It won't be on the screen, but I just want to go in and show or talk about everything that I bought. One of the things that I know that I don't even have to look at the phone is that I know that I got myself some more Crow. And that's the big thing that I think is undervalued, not financial advice. Okay, so right now it's at 30 cents. So what I did was last night or in the early morning hours, I bought some around 34 cents. And then as I got up earlier today, I noticed it was around 31 cents and I bought another purchase of that. So I'm happy that Crow was on sale because it's such a strong project. We can talk about Crow in a second. I'm just going to go over each one that I bought. So looking here at my phone, I also, after hearing you speak about it, Max, I went in and repurchased Zilliqa. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. And I got some of that. Now, a long time ago, I made some money with Harmony. I don't know if you've heard of that one. I think that's a good project as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Harmony. Yes.
Yeah. I sold mine for a profit, and then I just bought in last night. I bought myself a little more Decentraland Mana, and I also purchased some Phantom with an F. I bought more Phantom. And I bought just a small, tiny bag of helium, like we talked about yesterday. And you know what? I bought myself a little more ADA because I feel like Cardano, if they get their act together with their smart contracts, I think that, that's a strong project long term. And I feel like it's undervalued. It looks like it's around 78 cents right now. I didn't do anything with Ape Coin. I don't know if you heard. I was going to mention this. There was a ton of traffic on the Ethereum network. The gas fees were insane. We'll talk a little bit about Phantom Project too, but people could not buy Phantom Project because, there was other issues with the launch we'll get into, but one of the complaints was the gas fees were so high, and that's because, I don't know if you heard, but Ape Coin or Ape Project with the NFTs and their land, they had a big land sale, so that's what made the gas fees shoot up. So this is making me feel like what happened last night with the high gas fees is just another reminder that we need more faster blockchains. I'm a big proponent of Ethereum. It works great, but the gas fees get to be crazy and out of control when there's a lot of traffic. And so I think that this opens the door for other blockchains in terms of mass adoption. So I know I jumped all over the place, Max, but I just wanted to lay that out there just to let viewers know what I got into more of. And just kind of the general overall state is there's a lot of red in the market, but I'm one of those crazy guys that gets excited when there's red because I look to load up on the strong projects. Now, the low cap tokens are not doing well, so that's why my attention focuses on more established projects in the top 50. So what say you, Max?
Well, for instance, you were talking about how, with all the NFTs being sold and so on, that, Ape has basically created what they call network congestion. That's basically what that is. For projects that have the cross bridges or more than one particular network that is part of their project, those projects are definitely going to benefit from that. So, what strikes me is just, for instance, there's a few out there, for instance. Sorry about that. Hold on a second.
That's fine.
So what I was going to state is, like, you'll take the ones, like, for instance, I always throw a Clearpool out there, but for instance, they're recently onboarding Polygon for things just like that. It doesn't matter if it's a low cap token or a low cap coin, or some of the ones that are higher capped, the more well-established ones on centralized exchanges and so on. Those ones are going to really benefit from having these bridges, as you can see. For instance, I guess you could say the trending type of norm, if you will be to bring on the polygons that are out there to be part of those projects. That way, when your network is currently congested, like how it is right now, like with what you're mentioning, a polygon, right? That's really going to help those, offset those type of things. And not only that, I mean, why wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want to give more transparency for those who are, in this case, heavily buying into some of these NFTs and so on? The transactions per second, not even that, I mean, it's like per millisecond, are just so much more significantly higher, and it's just a win-win. So when people say, well, what makes the big deal in regards to all that? Well, that is the big deal. You can't just have it stuck on Ethereum and Ethereum only. Yeah, Ethereum's efficient, but look what's going on right now. So,
well, I think, just to comment on what you're saying, Ethereum, for me, in terms of is not. I think the thing with Ethereum is that it's established and people trust it. There's a lot more people that trust what the ERC tokens are rather than what is on Binance. Binance is faster and cheaper, so that's an appealing thing there. But I didn't get any more. I did get a little more BNB, but not a lot yesterday because it wasn't really down. But I have a great feeling about BNB. I have a great feeling about Kronos because those are two great blockchains. Like I'm starting to get more into Zilliqa. There's just Phantom with an F. There's just other Polygon you mentioned. There's a really good one. There's a lot of other alternatives, and the longer that Ethereum takes to come out with their version 2, so to speak, I know they're calling it a different name, and the name escapes me right now. But their version 2 is supposed to be faster, more efficient, less gas fees. The longer they take that to get that established, the more I think that they're opening the door to other people getting, so to speak, the market share for transactions, for development of new tokens, and that sort of thing. Ethereum is the trusted source, but it is definitely not the most cheapest one, and it is definitely not the fastest.
Right, and it's just that, I mean, like we mentioned previously, I think it was yesterday yesterday's show. As soon as that layer 2 is released for Ethereum, I mean, man, I realized that a lot of the layer 1s are significantly faster compared to obviously layer 1 Ethereum. But once that layer 2 is launched with Ethereum, I mean, you want to talk about game changer. That will literally set the standard, not just for the recent future, but I mean, I guess you could say for at least 2 or 3 more years to come in regards to that. Just to put a little focus on this crypto bubbles, just real quick, since we have it up, just looking at the time, I want to take a chance to thank those who recently joined our live stream with Max and Larry at Crypto Talk Now. And with that said, we are looking at, of course, crypto bubbles here. If you're not aware of what crypto bubbles is, we highly recommend it. You go to cryptobubbles.net. And the cool thing about it is, instead of having everything set up like a grocery list and just, thumbing through things like that, which there's nothing wrong with that, This just kind of pops out and lets you know what's going on, what's bleeding, and what's not. And if you just join us, for instance, Larry was talking about that he, again, it's not financial advice or anything like that, but he loaded up more on CRO. I actually texted a couple of my friends last night, let them know that I was going to do some dollar cost averaging. That CROs was pretty much the cheapest I've seen it for a while. I mean, to be able to get it at 30 cents is tremendous. I mean, again, like I mentioned, I got into it at 17 cents. I mean, Zill is what, like 6 cents right now. I mean, that's an absolute buy. Just some of the ones that are grabbing my attention. There is one I want to point out. GMT over here to the right. GMT has actually been one that's been on my radar for a while. And when I looked into it further, again, this was just like a token sniffer thing. I saw it was a honeypot in which you can't sell it, and I didn't like that. I like the concept behind it. And it's funny that we're actually mentioning this with, GMT, aka Steppen. And it's funny that we're actually mentioning this because crypto.com, and I'm going to, if it's okay with Larry, I'm going to maybe jump into this just real quick. Larry, unless you got something else you want to mention real quick. I'm actually going to.
No, go ahead.
So check this out, guys. For instance, if you've been following GMT for a while, they also have it's kind of like a, you get rewarded for, walking and so on, exercise and whatnot. And it's been kind of standing out. It's been trending, of course, on CMC and all these types of things. But for me personally, I just didn't want to get into something in which I couldn't sell. It seemed like it was a honeypot. Again, I realize it's based off a token sniffer and it's subject to change. However, check this out. I saw recently last night, just like Larry on crypto.com's app, there is one called Fit. I think it's called Fit App, or let me see what it's called just real quick. I'm sorry, Step App, which is called Fit5. If Larry can actually bring that up. Now, this hasn't been around too long, but they are absolutely killing it as far as getting the listings. They're currently already on the crypto.com app.
What is the one? Sorry to interrupt you, Max. What's the one called you want me to look up?
It basically rivals this, which is Steppen, and it's called, was it Step App? It's FitFi, FITFI is the ticker symbol. Doing really well for the day. It's having a pump, about 69%. I'm sorry, not 69%, 29%. It's up about a little over 60 cents. And again, if you look at the listing, if you zoom out on that, actually, let me actually see your page. I'm actually looking at my own. If you click on all real quick on that graph, see, you went up to 62 just even talking. So, for instance, it started not that long ago. If you zoom out a little bit to the far
that
left.
is zoomed out. It looks like it started. Am I looking at this properly? Just on the 26th of April.
Yes, that's super impressive. I mean, look at this. Just, for all those ones saying, oh, wow, you got to be established for a while and et cetera, et cetera. No, not necessarily to get on crypto.com. So, I mean, for them to already have been so new of a project, recent listing on, CMC, and then for them to obviously get that on crypto.com app is pretty huge. We're actually going to take a look at their site real quick. But yeah, it's sitting at above close to 61 cents. And the cool thing is, we always talk about, of course, these things like play to earn. Yesterday we were talking about, or not yesterday, but maybe was it the day before yesterday? We were talking about XCAD with the watch to earn. Well, what about run to earn or walk to earn, those type of things. And if you're doing it already anyway, walking your dog, or you're just trying to, guess it's exercise. God knows I need to get some exercise. How would you like? Yeah, how would you like to basically, have an app tied into your crypto, in which is going to give you incentive to, do just that. So, by all means, if you're thinking about this and so on, they do have a light condensed version of their white paper, aka the light paper. You can look more into it. Heck, they even have staking. I think Larry beat me to it. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah, go there. And yeah, you can actually stake your, was it FitFi Step App coins on their native site. or if you just want to hold them, for instance, on the crypto.com app, you can. I am not personally invested into this yet. I'm thinking about getting into it. But what's going to state is I'm not aware if there's actually some form of staking on the native crypto.com app. I will have to look into that further. But if you're thinking about yourself, you can look into it too. They already have a strong social media presence. Currently speaking, on Twitter, like you see right here, I believe at the very top it might be over 100,000 or 134,000. So
yeah, that's
still pretty impressive. Just like it says right there, exercise, earn, socialize, play, compete. Pretty cool thing they got going, on. And again, what stood out to me was first there was GMT, and that of course has been trending for a while, and I kept looking into GMT. Which is the Step In app, and I thought to myself, well, maybe they've updated the whole thing where you can sell, and it's consistent as far as Token Sniffer goes. You don't really see anything as far as being able to sell, and at the end of the day, we don't really want to get into any honeypots.
Right.
They could promise you the moon that, hey, later on in a month or two, you could sell. And you got to watch out for that. So it's more than just us looking out for not getting involved in rug pulls or scams or anything like that. But at the end of the day, if you can't take profits off the top, right, and you can't sell your position, then what are you into anything for? To hodl forever until it's not a honeypot? I don't think so. So this is obviously a top competitor going on right now. Crypto.com recognized it. You may very well start seeing this particular one trending based on it being let's face it, a big competitor to Step In.
I like the concept. I like to think of these all in one group. You've got watch to earn, you've got play to earn, now you've got exercise to earn, you have view to earn. So it looks like we're trying to get people involved with not just traditional investing, but really investing in themselves, whether they're watching quality content, they're exercising to improve their health. There's some that where you drive. I can't think of the ones offhand, but I know there's some that reward and pay people in crypto for driving to certain areas. So these are just different concepts and techniques that I think that over time, just give them a couple years, they'll start to see more and more adoption, because who wouldn't want to? They have different apps on your phones. I don't have one anymore, but it would keep track of the number of steps you do. And what better way to give you a little incentive? You're not going to make a ton of money, but it would be a fun thing, not just get points or anything like that, but actually earn a little bit for basically rewarding yourself with healthy exercise. So it's an interesting concept. Before we get too far, I know that I think it was Charles that wanted to know about Phantom. And earlier when I said that I bought more Phantom, I was talking about Phantom with an F. I did get into this pre-sale, however, and I do want to talk about Phantom for those of you that have joined us or tuned in to find out about Phantom Project. I have it up here on DexTool. So let's talk about Phantom. Phantom, the launch was a bit of a disappointment. But for me, I'm planning on holding this one. Now, I got into the pre-sale. Right now, my investment is cut in half right now. But so I think this is what happened. I think that with the launch, we started around a $10 million market cap with Phantom. And I think that it was a bit oversold in the pre-sale. So the market cap was a bit high. They didn't have enough buying pressure come in. Unfortunately, there was also some FUD surrounding the project. And people sold off prematurely because there was a 20% tax. And you would think that that would be an incentive to keep people to hold. But the problem was it was oversold for pre-sale. They raised over 1,000 Ethereum. And this is not a knock against the project. This is just analyzing and stating facts. It was oversold. There wasn't enough buying pressure, not enough new people coming in. The only thing that I would suggest, and I've been messaging people in Telegram, because I had the AMA the other day with the developers, great people. They sound like nice guys, Riz and Matt. The only thing that I would emphasize in what I would have done differently if I was in charge of the marketing, take, for example, Banana Task Force Ape. They did things a little differently. They had 40 ETH for a pre-sale. I was also trying to get in that. It was sold out in seconds. Because of the demand pressure to get into the pre-sale of Banana Task Force Ape, it caused a bunch of FOMO where people like myself and a bunch of others got in on launch because it wasn't oversold. So we can't go back and change the past. We can't change that, Phantom Project raised 1,000 ETH. That's good that they did that. But what it did cause was not enough buyers on the wide launch, which was yesterday. So here's what they need to do. And this is what Banana Task Force is. It's just a recent comparison. They did a great job with marketing right out of the gate. So on the launch, I actually was one of the ones that did a promotion for them. There was a lot of other YouTubers that did promotional videos. I would like to see Phantom Project. I believe that Phantom Project has an opportunity to be something good long-term. However, as I said before, if you've had the greatest project in the world, it means absolutely nothing if people don't know about it. So they need to start to invest some of those dollars. They brought in, volume-wise, they're at 568,000. But yesterday alone, they brought in over $1 million in volume. So they should have a decent marketing wallet just from yesterday alone. I would love to see them go out and negotiate with some different influencers, some different YouTubers. It doesn't have to be large ones, but it could be an army of smaller or mid-sized YouTubers, and then also people on Twitter. They need to get the word out. And that's something that I think that the only thing that they've done, I don't want to be too critical. I think it's the only area of improvement that I see because they have a lot of things set in motion. They have 2 audits already. They have the Certec audit pending, which to me is the gold standard of audits. They've already been fully doxed. They've added more people to their team. Now they need to open up the marketing wallet and they need to start paying for some promotions. What's your thoughts on it, Max?
Yeah, that's pretty much the way I look at it too. A lot of times with these pre-sales, it's kind of like, as the saying goes, 6 of one, half a dozen. But, pre-sales can end up being like that, in which it can be oversold and so on. And it doesn't necessarily, mean it's like, some people would say, oh, well, it's a slow rug. I mean, it's not like that. The thing is, they could just get more out there and so on, communicate a little bit more as far as, again, we're not really being too critical or anything like that, but I would say a lot more of the word of mouth. It's going to help, especially with the community, mentioning as far as like how they feel about the particular project, still seeing, the original vision of why they got into Phantom, and I guess you could say not necessarily just long term. I mean, that obviously helps, just like with any project, but stay in the course, not just dump in your position because you see something that you don't quite agree with or feel as though that the launch should have been a little bit better. There's great launches, there's bad launches. It doesn't mean that the project just went to hell in a handbasket. It just means that these things unfortunately do happen, but they can rebound from that. And there's of course other things like that affect this, which is with the overall crypto market in general. So
yeah, the recent one that comes to mind, and I didn't pay attention to the launch. I don't really, I'm not a fan of the Lily token, but they had a bad launch. Now this one here, and they recovered nicely. I wouldn't consider this one a bad launch. I would consider this like a flat one. Like I said, it was a symptom of being oversold. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad launch, but people now in crypto are spoiled, including myself. We're so used to that initial pump where you can 2, 3, 4x your money after you get in on a pre-sale. So that didn't happen here. I think the only thing that they need to do is just market, advertise, pay for ads, pay for promotional videos, pay for tweets on Twitter, because this is the world we live in right now. This is how people find out about projects. Reddit, the word can get out with, like you said, word of mouth, Telegram. They need to be able to push this and talk about the project. So I don't want to take up too much more time, but I do want to mention another pre-sale that I'm 90% sure of I'm going to get in. And I'll just show you that real quick, Max. Now, this is one here. It's called Banana Index. So this is part of the Banana Task Force Ape ecosystem. This is another one of their tokens. And I could be wrong because I haven't looked too deep into it, but I believe this is going to be their governance token. And actually, it is right here. See, Banana Index is the governance token to the highly successful Banana Task Force Ape. So that's what we're looking at right here. This time they've got 2 pre-sales going on. They have one on the Ethereum side. They have an Ethereum contract, and the soft cap is 100 ETH. And then this one I'm thinking about getting into, which is on the BNB side, and that is 800. Looks like a hard cap actually of 800 BNB. So this is going to give more of an opportunity than before for people to get in. As far as the Banana Task Force Ape, the regular token itself, they only had 40 ETH, and like I mentioned earlier, and it created a lot of people getting in on launch. So I'm just looking down at the screen here, Max. It's a little after 4:30, and we just have a special guest backstage. We have Brandon Stiles, and he is the dev of Medi Token. And there's some issues that were going on with Medi Token. Before we bring on Brandon in just a second, I just want to say that I am currently not invested in Medi Token, and I don't believe that Max is either. However, we heard about some issues that were going on the other day that I'm not 100% certain on, and I'm hoping to get some clarity. We wanted to bring this to the community because it looks like some people lost some tokens. There was some things going on with Dojo Swap, perhaps with liquidity. Again, I'm not an expert on Medi Token, and I don't know exactly what happened, but sort of as a public service to the community, we wanted to bring on the developer, Brandon, and actually just to talk to some of the holders, because I do feel bad for anybody that has gone through this, that is missing tokens or whatever has exactly transpired. So without any further ado, to the audience and Max, I'd like to bring on Brandon. I'm going to click this button here and add him to the stream. Hey, Brandon, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. How you two doing?
Good. I'm Larry, and we haven't talked before, but we chatted a little bit on Telegram, and this is my co-host, Max.
Hi, Brandon. Thanks for coming. Yeah, you too. Thanks for coming on the show and addressing this. I'm sure it's a big concern, and I'm sure you're very concerned about it as well. So we'll just go ahead and let you hop on over to it. So thanks for coming on.
Yeah. So I guess it was I believe there's 3 tokens that were affected. It was Medi token, Shift token, and I believe Plantanaso token were affected. I know Shift received their liquidity back already.
Okay. Oh, I think we might have the screen got frozen here for Brandon. We'll have him back in a second. We are chatting, for those of you that just joined us, with Brandon Stiles. He is the developer, the main developer for Medi Token. Are you back with us, Brandon?
Yeah, you know what? I might have to go on my phone. My signal on my Wi-Fi on my laptop might be a little shady.
Okay. Well, if you want to come back, do you want me to take you offline and you come back later, or it's up to you?
Yeah, give me like 1 minute and I'll come back on.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Thank you. So, so Max, I don't want to speak out of court because I don't know exactly what transpired. I believe that Shibnobi is trying to make things good for those that have lost their tokens. It seems to be some sort of either a hack or some sort of an issue that happened with Dojo Swap. I think that the team with Shibnobi is going to do the right thing and make sure that, as they said on Twitter, they would take care of the Medi token holders. I guess it happened to Shift, and Plantanaso is one that I was in for a couple days. So I know that Teddy Ganja was talking a lot about that, and I got into it because of a video that he was doing. So I hope that everybody out there gets their money back. That's the bottom line. That's what we're looking for here, Max.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like we mentioned yesterday, I don't know if it was on air or, when we were offline or whatever, to see that, public service announcement or what you want to call it from their actual Twitter, them as, Shibnobi addressing that. It didn't quite say it was, insurance, but for them to state what they stated is a sense of insurance, and, just to give more concern to what's going on, to actually have Brandon come on and address this as well. If it was me personally and I was into Medi Token, I I would feel as though that, you know what, I should be sweating it too much.
Right. Yeah. I think that, Shinobi has a good team around them, obviously with Cliff and everyone there. I think that they'll be okay. However, I hope that we can make sure this doesn't happen again. I think that what I read on Twitter is they're going to not even do this anymore with Dojo Swap. I mean, Dojo Swap is going to wait till they have their V2 before they launch again. They've taken down the app. Okay. So we have Brandon back with us. He's on his cell phone. I'm going to bring him back up. And, Brandon, if you just want to walk us through what transpired and just if you want to talk to your holders and that sort of thing and tell anybody. And then afterwards, we'll talk about Medi Token. You can tell us about Medi Token. I'm somewhat familiar with it, but not as familiar as you being the dev.
Yeah. Like I say, I appreciate you two having me on the platform here to talk today.
Okay, sure, great. You're welcome. Thank you.
So we had liquidity with Dojo Swap. I believe it was back in, I can't remember when we got listed on there, maybe back in beginning of, maybe middle of March. I don't think we had a lot of holders from Dojo Swap. So fortunately, I don't think a lot of people got affected by it from the Medi token side. But what happened was the liquidity that Dojo Swap had I guess Dojo Swap got hacked, and then Medi token's liquidity got cashed out. Plantanasso's liquidity got cashed out, and then Shift Token's liquidity got cashed out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something. So it was a straight out hack then. Do you have any idea roughly the dollar amount of the liquidity, let's say with Medi token, or even if you have the rest of the numbers for the other two?
For Medi token, I believe it was, so the pair was 1 ETH and then 7 quads of Medi. Okay. I think at the time 7 quads of Medi was about $1,500 and okay. 1 ETH. So we lost 1 ETH, 1.1 ETH plus the 7 quads. That's what got cashed out on the Medi token side. I'm not sure about Plant and Shift. I know Shift was over 20 ETH though. But I don't know the exact number for them.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like your holders weren't really too affected. I didn't know the dollar amounts, but nevertheless, we wanted to come on here. So can you tell us now, just on the surface, I know that Medi token, that I think your main focus is charity. Can you walk us through for those of you, or for those of us that are watching, including myself and Max? I mean, we're somewhat familiar with the project, but can you walk us through your main mission? Tell us about the project going forward, and then maybe we can try to see if anybody has a level of interest in this. I know that I've looked at it from an investment standpoint. I need to do a little more research, but can you tell us more about your project?
Sure. So Medi token, we're a ERC20 token, full utility. So we have several utilities that we're working on now, but our focus charity wise, so we do have a charity portion to our project, our Medi token, and that is we focus on the healthcare, medical, and first responder, that realm, those organizations.
Okay.
So our tokenomics, 11% of our taxes, 3% goes towards our charity wallet, and that 3% is that charity wallet is the donations to the healthcare, medical, and first responder organizations. And we do our donations globally. So worldwide donations, we've done over 40,000 so far. We launched January the 15th of this year. Small cap, I think our cap right now is 250K.
Right.
About 500 holders. So we're still small. We had an all-time high of about 2.3 million at one point, I think maybe at the beginning of March. So we've hit some good highs, consolidating right now in the 250, 230 range. Trying to think what else about our project though. Yeah, so we're focused on healthcare, medical, first responders. Our team is based in the US, UK, and the Philippines. And okay. So not only do we do donations or donate to other organizations, we also do charitable work and charitable donations ourselves.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So we did about $8,000 worth of charitable work in the Philippines back in, we launched on the 15th of January, and we did our first of like several medical missions in the Philippines that same weekend. So Yeah, we got two team members on our
Right.
team that actually set up the donation, set up the organization, how we were going to do it. So like we went out there, we did we provided medical kits, wellness checks, we gave out money, food, went door to door to different like provinces out there in the Philippines. So it was a big event. Like I said, it took us, we did 3 of them over there, back to back, about $8,000 over there. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm kind of scattered. I've been on calls and meetings all day, man. So
I know that you're busy. No, I just was. No, that's great that you've led us into that. Let me just interject a little bit.
Yeah.
I believe that your project is definitely undervalued. I mean, I like the idea of charity-based tokens. I'm sure Max would agree. You've been there.
Yeah,
before.
absolutely.
Yeah, you've been there before at a couple million in terms of market cap or more. That's a 10x from here. Let me ask you this question. So I know you're tinkering with coming out with a play to earn game. I actually played it for a few minutes as the helicopter game that you have. Let me ask you, as far as the inspiration for this particular type of token, is there anyone on your team that is a first responder or was in the past? Like, is there anyone that's involved with healthcare, or what made you go in this direction of this type of mission for your project?
So there's no one on our team that's involved in the healthcare or first responder or medical industry. I personally have family members that are nurses and doctors and firefighters, and I've seen like the work they had to go through, like just throughout my life, knowing them. But I would say the pandemic, 2020, is when we all kind of saw how hard hit the medical sector was, and that like the first responders and the healthcare sector was hit, like the hospitals, doctors, nurses. I think we all got to see how hard hit that was. And like, I don't think a lot of us realized how much work first responders do or did until like the pandemic.
Right.
So my whole thing was, I've been in crypto several years, and there's a lot of money in crypto.
Yeah.
So my thing was, well, it'd be nice if some of that money in crypto could be funneled towards, some other greater good kind of like missions or organizations. And I thought, well, why not do something where you can give back and help out the healthcare sector and the medical sector, first responders, like donate to hospitals and donate equipment and things like that. So that's where Medi Token came from, and that's what Medi Token, like the core of it is.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, it's true. During the pandemic, we saw how important first responders are, but just general doctors, nurses. Without those people, it's kind of hard to take care of yourself especially when there's a crisis. So I do like your mission, as I mentioned, just from a personal investment standpoint. I think you're way undervalued. I like the fact that you guys are doxxed. I like the fact that you come on camera. So I think we just need to get the word out. I'm guessing that the marketing budget, is not huge, just being, with the size project, but that's okay, because, the projects that get legs really are the ones that have a clear purpose, a mission, some sort of a strong utility. So Max, if you'd like to maybe ask a question or talk a little bit about Brandon, because I don't want to just hog up the airways here, and I want to give you a chance to speak as well.
No, that's okay. At the end of the day, I just don't want to, talk over you and so on. But, Brandon, again, thank you for coming on here. A few things I was going to ask you, for instance, that kind of caught my eye. First of all, I think it's awesome what you guys are trying to do in regards to this. First responders should be recognized in countless ways, let's face it. And then for you guys to actually have this particular token, I guess you could say that pays homage to them and basically targets those who are our first responders and so on by, donating to various, I guess you could say, was it hospitals? Any chance you guys got anything connected to, like, say, St. Jude or anything like that? Or
so we don't have anything personally connected with them, but I don't think we've donated to St. Jude. We've donated to like Doctors Without Borders. We've donated to the Red Cross. We did donation to the Ukraine, that fund. We've done some work in Romania. Like our team has done work in Romania. We got something set up in Haiti. We're about to donate to a mission. We donate to another mission in Guatemala, like a medical and educational missions. So we've done a lot of donations, but nothing with St. Jude, nothing like linked form.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I was just using them as an example. Actually, Larry, if you could just go right back to where we're just at with the, I believe it was the roadmap, for instance. So, for instance, I mean, you know, I see things in which, you know, like, you know, what's it say? First play to earn, where were we just at? Play to earn game at launch. It says that's actually in phase 1. I love, of course, the outlook of phase 2 and 3 and so on. I mean, every project should have, you know, long-term outlook in regards to that. But if you just take a moment, because, you know, this is, again, things are very appealing. I mean, I'm glad that you guys are, you know, got the whole thing going on with as far as worldwide charity donations and so on. That's super. But this is, let's face it, for the average token holder or person that's thinking about getting into a project, this does catch their attention. First play to earn game. How, you know, is it going to be something in which is more focused like on the NFT side of it as far as play to earn, or is it actually like a physical, you know, 2D or 3D game in which, I don't know, let's say, for instance, like you play the role of first responder and you go to, you know, complete tasks, or, you know, just kind of shed light on that if you don't mind.
Yeah, so our first game will be like a Flappy Bird style game. Like it's basically a rescue helicopter going through saving people off of burning buildings. It'll be a leaderboard style kind of game. So the first, probably the top 10 people will be those every week will be chosen to get ETH. So we don't know what the payouts are going to be, like the actual amount, but we do know like the top 10, maybe top 15 every week will get a payout of some sort for a high score. That's our first game. What we're going to do is we do have plans for several other games that we want to include NFTs in those games. So we have a set of NFTs now, and those NFTs are going to be used as like a sort of a whitelist. So if you buy the NFTs that are out now, we will be giving you, like, we'll either airdrop you a free NFT. Like, so they're V1s now, and we plan on having V2 NFTs, V3 NFTs. So if you're holding the V1 NFT, you will always get a free future NFT. And these future NFTs be hopefully used for staking and in-game plays and things of that nature.
Okay, that sounds great, because, you know, some other projects, for instance, as you know, they implement that into it, in which that has, like, you know, utility or use case to use in the game, or, you know, other functions and so on. So that sounds really good as well. Another thing I was going to mention, you know, for instance, we covered it on Crypto Talk Now, for instance. I don't know if you're familiar with like Robo Inu, for instance, but one of the incentives they have going on as we speak is, for instance, I saw you guys got this phase 2 for 5,000 plus holders. One of their incentives, for instance, is an airdrop event as soon as they hit that. Do you guys have any particular incentives that you're planning on doing that in regards to that? I'm just trying to find out a little bit more as far as, you know, a detailed roadmap as far as what's, you know, that's going to be transpired or not.
Yeah, so when we hit like milestones like that, like holder milestones, we would like to do some sort of airdrop or some sort of reward, be it maybe NFTs, or like I said, an airdrop of some, maybe we'll airdrop everybody, or maybe we'll give people extra percentage on their reflections. Like, we don't know exactly what we're going to do for those big like holder milestones. We definitely want to do them because they're huge achievements, especially in a market like this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Well, that sounds really cool. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, Flappy, like when you mentioned Flappy Bird and so on, I mean, it's just such a easy, simple concept and so on. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you make something that's addictive, people love to play, and being able to have, you know, earning incentives and so on, is a really cool thing. I like to see, or I should say, I like how I have seen in regards to this roadmap and the project overall. Now, one thing I was going to point out, it says, for instance, the second play to earn game launch in phase 2. Again, is that going to be like, not necessarily, I know you just talked about the whole thing with the NFTs and so on, but is that going to be like a secondary genre, or is that kind of like speculative as far as, you know, side scrolling, 3D? heck, even MMORPG. I don't know what you guys got planned in regards to that. If you just touch base just a little bit on that.
Yeah. So the second game, we have 2 games right now. One's in development, one's finished. Not our first one, but we have 2 besides our helicopter game. One's like is an ambulance game where you're racing through cities, watching out for obstacles, cars, people in the road, and you're trying to get your patient from point A to point B. So that's one of our games that's developed now, and we're working on like another side scroller action game, kind of like a shooter flying game, like a first responder, like a futuristic doctor, futuristic doctor kind of character. So we have that game's being developed. So we're working on the 2D side scroller now, but the ambulance game is finished, but we think we might just reskin it, make it look a little more appealing. So we don't know which game we're going to launch for the second one, but we do want to do an RPG game. But the RPG game be something that'll be tied to the new NFTs that come out, and hopefully future games will be tied to those NFTs as well.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's, obviously not telling what you guys to do or anything like that, but I mean, the whole first responder thing and tying that to RPG, you can actually hit a really nice niche with that. There's so many different things that you can actually do that, like playing the role of a firefighter, and then playing the role of a doctor, and then having the main role being focused around hospitals and stuff like that. Go on a certain quest. What's your quest? You got to go out and respond to a car accident at such and such area, and then how you level up as far as that goes. So I mean, there's a lot you guys can build in regards to that. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. What you're saying is stuff that we got like on our brainstorming board. Like, so yeah.
I come from Call of Duty 4 way back in the day. We created a very, well, I should say, this is not me bragging or anything, but we created the most popular mod for all the Call of Duty 4 on the PC. It's called NW4MP, New Weapons for Multiplayer. So I have quite a bit of background in regards to what's appealing to those who play a game and so on, and what they want to see. So I myself am excited to see what you guys are planning, especially for that second play to earn game. I'll definitely keep it on my watch list.
Yep. Oh, also, I've got to mention, so one of our big utilities is going to be our health and fitness app. It's called MediFit. And so that app is going to be like a move to earn kind of app, but it's going to be a little bit different than just like working out and earning crypto. What we want to do is want people to earn crypto from health, fitness, and wellness. So we'll be gauging things like blood sugar, cholesterol, O2 steps, sleeping patterns, like all types of like vitals that you'll go to your nurse, your doctor, and then they would give you. So we're going to manage those kind of vitals on top of working out and calories and hitting your macros and things like that. And we want to reward people for several different layers of this health, fitness, and wellness. So that app is currently, we're doing a UI now. So we're still designing a UI, and we're hoping that we'll have something that's like a prototype that's, I guess, doable or accessible for like the community within the next week or two. Then once we get out the UI stage, we'll be starting development of the app. So our health and fitness app is something we're kind of like banking on that being like our bread and butter for utility.
I'm glad you actually addressed that. Let's just take a moment, Larry, to put a little focus on that. Ironically, Brandon, we actually just covered Steppen, as well as this other one that competes with it. I'm just going to bring that up just real quick. So, for instance, Step app is completely new, just got listed, for instance, believe it or not, on crypto.com's app, and they just literally came on board, I don't know, what was it, like not even 5 days ago or whatever, and already they have 135,000 followers and so on. Realize it's not your project, but the cool thing is this, that you mentioned this particular app that you have, Brandon, and the reason why I think it's significant is, again, it's just another utility that you guys are bringing to your project as well. And that could be a huge catalyst because currently speaking, if you've been following CMC for a while, me and Larry were talking about, there was this one, it's called GMT. It's been trending, right? It's one of the fitness style apps slash coin slash token projects. But the only issue with them, again, not completely verified, but like for instance on Token Sniffer, it's kind of like a honeypot. Then you have one of these competitors, right, which is StepN, and I mean, heck, it's already been vetted. It's already on Crypto.com's app. But if you guys are implementing this particular, app into Medi token, I think that is really something that needs to be mentioned more personally, because I mean, this is something that's trending, and it could be a huge catalyst for your Medi token project. So I'm really glad you came on here to mention that and pointing that out. That's just another thing again, I'm going to be focusing on is of course that secondary play to earn, because I like what you mentioned, and then also that actual app as far as the fitness and so on. That sounds really, really cool.
Yeah, now we're excited about that, man. Like our goal is we want to be able to use this app to break into like real world utility and bridge healthcare and medical and crypto. We want to be able to use the app as one of our several ideas of utility that can bridge, real world with crypto. Like we got plans, man. Like we got a lot of big plans. Like it just takes the right person to see our project, and then we can start trending.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you sound very, knowledgeable and passionate about that. And at the end of the day, people are going to see that. So obviously they're saying, I mean, you're putting your face in front of the camera and so on. Just bring more transparency,
Yeah, I didn't know about the health and wellness app. That's something that definitely got my attention. I did not know about that at all. I think that right there could be something that's even bigger for you than the play to earn in terms of, bringing revenue and stuff like that. I think people are looking for ways, just the general public, anybody getting into crypto, or even people that have been in crypto for a while. It's kind of cool to be able to earn something when you're also taking care of your health as well. So, we've seen these recent ones start to reward people for, watching content, for exercising, for a lot of different things, not just play to earn. So I think you might have said it and I might have missed it. When do you think the version 1 or like a trial version of your health and wellness app might be ready for us to look at?
Oh man, it's being built from the ground up. So it's going to take a while. We're looking at least 6 months. So
Right.
this is May. So probably the end of 2022.
Okay.
If we can get it sooner, we might do, like I say, we might do phases of it. Just depends on how much we want to get done. And so we don't want to really put a timeline on it, because if you say 6 months and then it becomes a year, people get upset. But if you say, so it's kind of like we're hoping 6 months we can have something for the people.
Right. Maybe you could have something sooner than later that's more of like a limited features, and then just keep adding to the features. But yeah, I know what that's like to for devs to talk about things coming out, and then people get impatient. Well, people in crypto generally are impatient to begin with.
Yeah.
But we're waiting for Ethereum even, so it happens to the biggest of the the biggest and best projects, something like Ethereum. We're waiting for version 2, whatever they're calling it, and that takes a long time. So that's smart not to put an exact time on something so that people don't get disappointed. But like I said, I'm definitely going to take a close look. I'm probably going to wind up investing in this myself. Not financial advice for anyone watching, but I'll probably wind up doing that this week, and because I do think it's undervalued, so I'd probably pick myself up a bag. But so what is the issue with the token just not taking off right now? I know we were up at 2 million before. Is it just not getting enough exposure? Because there's so many different tokens with less utility that are, have a lot of money invested in them, but it's just because they catch on with marketing on YouTube and Twitter and stuff like that. Is that the big issue? Is that it just isn't very well known right now?
Yeah, that's the main issue, man. It's like it's just not well known. And then like when we first launched, we used a lot of our marketing money. Like in hindsight, I wouldn't have done it, but we used a lot of money. Like we, did the traditional route of getting callers on Telegram, and we got a couple of influencers like doing like, you know, a couple shout outs here and there. But if we would have like not done the calls on Telegram, and we could have probably saved, geez, thousands of dollars, man. Cause like nothing came to Telegram, like calls and shields. Like most of our holders came from like Twitter and organic growth and just talking to other communities and doing like AMAs. So a lot of our money went towards marketing that wasn't effective. So,
not as truthful. Yeah. Well, yeah, hindsight's always 2020. So a couple quick questions. We don't want to hold you up. We want to be respectful of your time, but real briefly, you mentioned other communities. Obviously, you had the partnership going with Shibnobi, with Dojo Swap. So my question is two-part question. The first one is a quick one. What other communities are you talking with or partnered with already? And then the second question, real quick, is as far as a centralized exchange, I know you guys are small in volume right now, but are there any smaller centralized exchanges on the horizon, or are you in talks with anyone? So if you want to answer just those two.
Yeah. So exchange be pretty. I'll answer that one first. So we're on CoinsBit right now.
Okay.
That's a pretty small exchange, but not small, but it's fairly known. So we're on that right now. We plan on getting on more. Just when the volume picks up and we get more money in development and in the market, and then we can go ahead and go after some other exchanges or other swaps as well.
Okay.
As for partnerships, we are partnered with, let me get this. So we have a partnership with Mandox. We're working on a collaborative NFT. So it's gonna be like the Medi NFT with the Mandox artwork and style. So it's gonna be like a mesh up of both our NFTs as in one.
Okay.
We're working on that now. That's a partnership. We have we work real closely with List Token. We plan on getting on their bounty system, so we'll be partners with them eventually. Wolverine, we're partners with them. We're going to be on a new play to earn game. They haven't announced our character yet, but we already did everything needed, so they'll make an announcement officially saying Medi will be on their game, and we'll do some AMAs and charity donations with them, with other partnerships. Red Panda Earth, we're partners with them, so we do joint donations. And Red Panda Earth is they focus on wildlife and endangered species, so we're partnering with them. I feel like I'm missing somebody, a big one. Oh, Heroes Token. So that's like a new partnership. So we're partnering up with them, and we're probably partnering up. We've been in talks with Delta Flare also to do like a NFT collaboration with them as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just brought something else up real fast here. Tell me about your character, your little logo here. Tell me how that came about, and you know, a little bit about the how the character is implemented, like in the games or the NFTs. If you just want to tell us real quick about the character, how that came about there.
Yeah, so the character, that's an original concept right there. So you won't find Medi anywhere. It's not we didn't like steal that from any other project or any other like artwork or property. That is our original like artwork, our original concept. So we're proud about that. So where it came from, like we were thinking like a mascot, kind of like, okay, we want to have a mascot. The Inu thing is kind of a big deal, but we're not trying to be an Inu project, but we want to have something that kind of draws people in.
Yeah,
but it's fun and kind of relatable. Like, you know, we didn't want to have like a person per se, so like, why don't we have like a humanoid dog figure? And use that as a marketing like strategy as it'd be a good logo. And so that's kind of like where it came from.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, a lot of well, especially in the crypto world, everybody has, you know, the logos, and that's good that you didn't go the route of the Inu, because I think we have too many Enus right now. I think that trend is starting to die off.
I would agree with that. I mean, but if anything, I mean, you guys, if you want, I'm not saying what you guys have to do or anything like that, but you know, if you did do the whole Enu thing, it would be, you know, why not have like a service dog or something like that? You know what I mean? That would kind of make sense with the whole medical thing.
Yep.
Well, cool. Okay. Well, do you have anything else, Max, for Brandon? Any other quick questions or whatnot?
Not necessarily questions, just basically comments and so on. I really like what you mentioned as far as, all those partnerships you got going on. One that actually kind of caught my attention with what you just briefly mentioned was, for instance, Wolverine. They have been doing pretty well actually late with the AMAs. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Larry could quote me on this, but I think Volt has something in which they implemented one of their characters into with Wolverine. So with what you were mentioning about also collaborating and implementing one of your characters, that's really, really cool, because at the end of the day, if you have some kind of thing set up in which you have multiple characters from multiple crypto projects coming in, to a sense, I mean, I know this is kind of a stretch, but it's kind of like developing a I don't know, what do you call it, superhero thing, not an Avengers style thing, but in a way, right? It's like, it's that kind of concept, but with crypto, and it just makes more brand identification, if you will. And I think people appreciate that, and they like seeing that. So I'm glad you mentioned some of those things. It's really cool. You got a very diversified amount of things going on with all these other projects. I really like seeing that.
Yeah. Oh, also, another one of our partners is Kishimoto. So we're going to be on their staking platform. So you'll be able to stake Medi for Katsumi. I don't know if it's this month or next month, but I think one of these upcoming months, you'll be able to take Medi and earn Kasumi through Kishimoto on their website also.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
that sounds like a good incentive. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good that you're partnering with these other small cap tokens. Everybody is in this together, and we're helping all the communities work together and help each other out to get more exposure. It's, it's good organic growth. I think it's just a matter of time when if we get over out of this weird phase that we're in right now, which it seems like every other day we're either on a bear run or a bull run. So once the bull run really starts to take place again, if we get into that type of market, with that feel again, like last October, early November in there, then I think you guys will really take off again, along with a lot of other small cap tokens. So I just want to say, on behalf of, myself and Max, we want to thank you, Brandon, for joining us. We just wanted to get the word out about the token issue with Doja Swap. Sounds like it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought. So that's good news for the holders. I think you have a very strong project. I think, we just need to get the word out, and I am going to take a hard look at it next week and probably join the community with my investment. So I thank you again for joining us. You're always welcome to come back on the show if you want. We do a show now live. This is our 7th show in a row. We do them 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday. And then on the weekends, we do 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, usually go about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. So you're always welcome to come on. If you want to stop on and say hello for 5 minutes, that's cool too.
Cool, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, I'll definitely come back. Maybe once we get the MediFit UI demo, I can come back and show that off.
You know what? Maybe I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do or anything like that. But I mean, if you had something on, for instance, I'm looking at this same as you on meditoken.org. Maybe just have something that just kind of put a little bit more emphasis on that, because at the end of the day, let's face it, the crypto projects that are trending in that regard. I mean, come on, STEPN and GMT, those have been, well, I should say GMT, that has really been trending on CMC for a while. If you guys could get something going on in that, maybe put a little more focus on it. Again, I'm not telling you what to do or anything like that, but who knows? Maybe you guys could trend like that too, worth a shot. So
you're right.
Right.
Yeah, that app could be the thing that takes you, to big places. It could be the thing that really, carries you guys and boosts up your investment and your market cap. So we again thank you for being with us, Brandon. And I know you got to go do some cool dev stuff, whatever it is you're working on. So we'll let you get back to what you're working on.
Yeah, I appreciate it, fellas. Yeah, like I say, thanks for having me on. I look forward to coming back.
All right,
you're very welcome, Brandon. Thanks for coming on. It was glad to be able to talk about a lot of these things.
Yeah. All right. So, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Later.
Bye. All right, cool. So that was good. I'm glad that we, tried something different. He's I didn't tell him, but he's our first live guest for you and I. So that was cool. And this is what we're looking to do, Max. And we can just tell the audience, we want to bring on some other developers, or not just developers, key people, just different people, key people in communities. So, we can reach out to some of these other communities that, are struggling to get traction, just trying to get the word out. They might not have a big marketing budget. Some of these small cap tokens, Wolverine, I mean, I'm still in that. He mentioned a few different ones, and Kishimoto is another one. Maybe if we could just get the word out, if these tokens are starting to improve and starting to come up with some different utilities, it's just a matter of getting some eyeballs on them, because, that's what's going to start to carry them. Not everybody, has the budget of Shibnobi or some of these other projects. Shibnobi has had some issues lately, but, not everybody is going to be a larger, I guess, if you will, a larger small cap token. So there's a lot of people talking about things like Shiba Inu and Saitama, but there's not a lot of people talking about some of these small cap tokens.
No, you're right. And that's just how it is sometimes, or I should say sometimes, quite often. It's just, again, word of mouth, influencers like ourselves covering certain projects and so on. That doesn't mean that.
And I think we just lost a connection with Max, but I'm sure he'll be back. We've got some other things planned in the works that we're looking to talk about. We've already talked about Step App. We just were joined by the developer, Brandon. Grateful that he came on. We talked about Medi Token. We've talked a little bit about the Banana Task Force Ape newest token, the pre-sale for Banana Index. I'm looking to get into that. We talked about Phantom and it just being flat right now. I think Phantom project is a strong project. It just needs some time to develop some traction from a marketing standpoint and getting the word out, possibly partnering. That's something that I'll talk to Phantom project about, partnering with some other community based projects. I think we're going to talk about something to do with Axie Infinity when Max comes back on here. So we've talked about a variety of things. We talked about some of the projects that I got into more of, or some of the blue chip tokens that I purchased in the middle of the night because I couldn't sleep and I was so excited about this show and crypto. So I loaded up more on some Crow. They're calling it Kronos now. I bought some Zilliqa, and I think we're about to bring Max back on. Sorry, Max. Looks like the something is causing your connection to Rug. It's either something in my home studio or something in your home studio.
No, it's definitely me. On that one, I verified it was me. I just slightly bumped my knee on my desk and just barely hit the wire for the camera. So that's a very sensitive camera. Like I mentioned, I'm just gonna have to flat out get a new one. So
here's a funny name. So I got a little impatient with it. I think you wanted to talk about Smooth Love Potion. I own some Smooth Love Potion. I missed the Axie boat. I didn't get in on that. I didn't FOMO in because it was going crazy, and I didn't want to buy, with it just going so nuts. So I was like, what can I get that's related to Axie Infinity? So I did FOMO into some Smooth Love Potion a few months back. I did sell it off at a loss just because I wanted to get into something else, and I got a little impatient and a little frustrated with myself for buying in too high. But did you want to talk about, was it Smooth Love Potion related to Axie Infinity, or was it something else?
Yeah, it was Smooth Love Potion. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, I mean, here's the way you got to look at it, okay? So you don't have to have the attitude that you got to get, I missed Axie and, man, it's just, too expensive. I can't, get into it. There's other ways of getting into some of these projects. You don't have to buy, the native coin that's on, various centralized exchanges like, crypto.com and so on. I believe Axie Infinity itself, right, is like in the $50 range or something like that, which is super cheap. There are a lot of factors of why Axie Infinity is down right now. For one, there's a whole thing in which their play to earn model, as far as the earnings, have gone down significantly. You also got to keep in mind the Filipino user base for the play to earn. That represents a big amount of their producing economy, if you will. Because a lot of people from the Philippines were, just doing a lot of labor intensive things in regards to this. And that has been affected dramatically. I don't need to go into all the specifics, but you could definitely look it up on various videos out there. But my point I'm trying to make is this. It's still a very good project. A lot of things could happen in Axie Infinity in which they could turn things around. I'm looking at it personally as far as like not necessarily dollar cost averaging, but again, like I've always said, the risk to reward. So, why are you talking about Axie Infinity and their native coin? Okay, this is where I'm going with this. Smooth Love Potion is the actual token that's used to purchase certain things inside the world, right? And currently speaking, okay, this is going for, I think, a little above a penny. Yeah, there you see it right there. It is up about 11.79%. For me personally, if this was to, if we continue to have red days like this, let's face it, this is probably going to dip a little bit more. If this was able to dip, like maybe right at a penny or slightly under, then I'm going to be taking the approach kind of like how I took the approach towards Dogecoin originally. I know this seems like a crazy comparison, but for instance, I originally got into Dogecoin late January of 2021, and of course, I saw Dogecoin go to all-time highs. I cashed out on Dogecoin close to all-time highs. I turned basically $300 into about 22K. And if you look at this, what Larry's going to do is he doesn't have to click on the all, but if you go to the top of that graph, I believe it's, when there's a lot of great run-ups. So, for instance, there's April, and then we also saw – actually, you know what? There we go. So, for instance, yeah, you guys see it like roughly around, over 30 cents and so on. That's not too shabby. I mean, if you were to purchase this even at, the price it is now, that's still a buy compared to where it was before. Again, the risk to reward, could this thing go further down because everything that's based on what's going on with Axie's, in-game economy? Yeah, absolutely. It could. But again, just like I mentioned with XRP the other day, I'm looking at it from a retail investor point of view. The risk to reward ratio is very appealing right now. As you can see, the volume is dramatically up. 24 hours up 151%, 590 million. You might be asking, well, why is that? It's because a lot of people are also looking at it the same way I'm looking at it, and that is the risk to reward ratio. This is close to a penny. This is an absolute buy because they could rebound. Now, I know that graph shows like, well, what the heck is going on with this? But in reality, if you compare this to a lot of other crypto projects, same thing is going on with that. So for me personally, if they are able to rebound from this, and I think they will, Axie is going to rebound. They're still a big player in the play to earn. They're basically still like the top 5 as far as household names in the play to earn space with crypto itself. And with that said, if you're betting on that, because at the end of the day, it is kind of a bet, then this, again, is a very appealing risk to reward ratio. So if you're interested in possibly getting into this, whether you're going to wait for it to, drop below a penny or not, or you're just going to hop into it now, I personally wouldn't recommend hopping into it just yet. I'm going to wait a little bit more for just a slight correction. But yeah, you can actually get this on Crypto.com's native app. There's obviously other exchanges you can get it on, but that's the one that stood out to me. When I actually end up getting into this, I'm probably just going to go ahead and get it off of Crypto.com's app.
Yeah, that's where I got into it. I'm trying to remember when I got into it, but I definitely bought it on Crypto.com. As I mentioned, I sold it off at a loss. I'm trying to remember if I think I got into it last October when, we kind of had the bull run and it kind of went the opposite of where the market was going. And I just wanted to grab my capital out of there and throw it into something else because everything was going crazy in October last year. So I think I might have sold off in November, but so I sold off at a loss of a few pennies per token. I don't completely understand Axie Infinity as far as how the gameplay is. I've never played it. I know that Classy Crypto is big into Axie Infinity. As far as the gameplay goes, and I know that people are earning a living, making $40, $50 a day. I think you mentioned the Philippines. I've heard that before. Tell me what you think as far as the gameplay. We're just in the early stages of crypto gaming. This is definitely the big boy on the block in terms of Axie Infinity itself. Is the gameplay attractive enough long term, or is it going to get knocked off by other games coming in? Is that the main knock on Axie? Is that the gameplay itself, although something you can earn money with, is it fun to play long term?
How should I explain this? So I hate to say this, but a while back, I haven't personally played it, but from, just like anybody, you could go on YouTube and watch gameplay and so on. So the consistent thing that was brought up in the past was it kind of has a play to win-esque feel to it, where you have to have certain things in which is going to put you in a position to win, against the enemies that you're going up against.
Right.
So yeah, you have, you can't just go in. Yeah, it's free to play and it's play to earn, but at the same time, it's like what they give you, the resources they give you to start off with. Is it, gamers would say you're going to get owned, you're going to get wrecked quite a bit. You have to be able to say to yourself, all right, I'm going to take a position. I'm going to buy so much of, like for instance, the native, or I'm sorry, maybe some SLP, right? Some smooth love potion or whatever else that's in the current game, or maybe craft certain things, loot boxes or whatever it is that's in the actual game. And then you purchase that, then it gives you an advantage. Then you can compete and so on. Recently speaking, there's a few other influencers who pointed out that until they got to that point, it wasn't fun yet. But once they got to that point, then it became kind of like an addictive thing that they played regularly and so on. I think a little more emphasis needs to be put on that for people who start off, because at the end of the day, I mean, that is a big part of their audience. It has to be. I mean, if you're onboarding, like 100 million people who just downloaded it and so on, and then they find out that, they can't defeat the enemy often, and this is using all the allotted amount of coins they got, and they're basically forced to purchase more. There's positives, negatives as far as that goes. Yeah, the negative is they have to spend more in order to enjoy it more, but at the same time, that's what gets people, on the hook. And that's what I guess you could say earns Axie Infinity more money, is more of those people. So where does that draw the line? Where it draws the line is, currently speaking, they have cut the, I guess you could say, the wages, right? Because that's what it is, especially in the Philippines. That's very unappealing, and a lot of those people who are devoted to the project have either left or aren't putting in as much hours, and as a result, price action is definitely reflecting that. But at the same time, they can rebound. So again, back to what I was stating at the very beginning of this segment, and that is, if you're betting on this rebounding, the risk to reward ratio is very, very appealing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Not knowing a ton about the game, I would think that where the price is at now, I think I agree with you. I wait for a little bit more of a pullback, see if it gets even possibly below a penny. I don't know. I have to look into it more. But yeah, I think that this is one. If you missed the boat on Axie, this might be the next best thing, since you could. The market cap is low, still relatively speaking for a game like that. The market cap for a Smooth Love Potion I'm talking about is 69 million. Not to interrupt you, Max, but just to be kind to our guests here, if you're still here, Selmo, Yeti Coin, he wants us to talk about Yeti Coin. Yeti Coin is one I've heard about, the name itself, but I don't know anything about it. Are you familiar with Yeti Coin? I think we might have lost your audio there, Max. Can you hear me?
No, we didn't. I was on a different screen and I forgot to unmute myself. Sorry about that. No, I'm not familiar with Yeti Coin. Selmo FUD. I haven't heard of it, this particular project, but nonetheless, we'll take a look into it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're still. I remember you mentioned this earlier at the beginning of the broadcast, so I don't know if you're still with us and so on, but we could definitely look more into it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. It looks like right now the market cap is about 2.3 million, so it is a low cap. I love looking at low cap tokens. My theory is not to oversimplify it. I like to get into the small caps or very, what I would call micro caps, anything under 10 million, and try to earn something and then take that profit. If I'm not staying in the long term, take the profit and put it into some of the blue chips. But take out the initial investment and leave a moon bag in there just in case it does something. But Yeti Coin is one that I'm not familiar with. We're pulling it up right now. So turning doubters into believers. Yeti culture and movement bridging together our love of sports and fitness.
See, Larry, this is starting to trend. I am
Yep.
telling you, this whole thing with the whole fitness thing is trending, and it's like, there you go. I mean, you can see it right there.
Yeah. So I guess we've stumbled into something, a hot area, I guess you could say, or a hot topic, is this pay to basically get yourself healthy. It says, we believe in establishing and promoting healthy lifestyles, connecting with underdeserved communities, and creating the strongest crypto community through our core values. It says they've got a couple thousand holders. Here's their white paper. They've got a tech rate audit. That's good. Here's their tokenomics. So their treasury wallet, continuous growth is very important. So we're allocating 5% to go towards marketing, development, partnership, buybacks, and burns. And then they've got redistribution. So they got reflections of 1% to the holders. They have a max wallet, which is as an anti-dumping mechanism to prevent whales manipulating the price significantly. We capped all wallets at 2.5%. So I guess that's good. So nobody can take too big of a position to manipulate the chart. The total supply or dump on everyone. The total supply is 1 quadrillion. And it's allocated to the liquidity pool of 100%. The LP tokens are burned. So it says they have a Yeti swap. I don't know if it looks like it might be active now. They have an online store. They have Yeti Gym Bras. Join our exclusive Discord group and become Yeti Gym Bra. All you need to do is find the Yeti you like from our NFT collection, buy at least one, and enjoy the benefits. So I guess they have a membership through their NFT that gets you into their private Discord. Move to Earn app. This is what I think is most interesting to Max and I. Currently working on developing an app that will reward its users who are actively burning calories by moving, running, working out, by distributing weekly rewards in Yeti tokens. So just looking at this character here, Max, this looks like they're after possibly the gym crowd or maybe some of the younger type users, somebody that's into bodybuilding and that sort of thing, which I think.
Yeah, like Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day. They want to get you to the gym. They want you to pump lots of iron. Make your muscles very big.
Exactly. So we got now we got Arnold Schwarzenegger that joined us yesterday. We had Mike Tyson for a cameo appearance. So I definitely think that maybe this is something to take a look at. Are all these tokens going to be at the top of the list? I don't know, but somebody is going to come out with an app that people are going to want to start to earn to get into shape. So we just had talked to Brandon at Medi Token. It's more for him, or for Medi Token, I should say. They're looking at blood sugar. They're looking at different things as far as from a health standpoint. So that's a good spin on that as well. But yeah, this is what they're calling move to earn. So we've talked about that. So this one, what's your initial impression of the website and things that we're seeing here with Yeti Token?
I mean, it's a well put together website and so on. The main thing at the end of the day is, you can have the most beautiful, well put together website. You got to test it for yourself, the functionality and so on. And I guess as far as the pronunciation on Jim, it's not Jim Bra. It's the younger generations calls it Jim Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. So
Yeah, I'm not too good with my
I stick with bro.
my
I'm
slang.
old
I
school.
guess.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
stick with old
bruh,
school. You know, I
bruh
don't
or
go.
bruh. Yeah,
I
bruh.
don't go around and be like, you know, welcome to Crypto Talk now, bruh. We're gonna be checking out the Yeti Coin, bruh. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody is out there from the Yeti Coin community, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to have somebody come on the show sometime. Pop in for 5 minutes. Tell us more about Yeti Coin, because there's nobody better to listen to than, you know, if it's a dev, that's cool, but it's somebody that's invested in the token, I would think that would know more than us right now. So we'll have to drop in their Telegram sometime and say hello to them. But their
Right.
volume, yeah, their volume's down right now, 39%. So they're at 95,000. I don't know, Max. This could be something that is a sleeper too. Maybe when the bull run comes, you know, instead of it being 2 million, maybe it goes to 4 or
Well,
higher
heck,
from there.
if you want to put a little more emphasis on it, I mean, I guess we could token sniffer it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's definitely do that. Here's their Twitter page. Let's
Got a
take
token sniffer it, bruh.
Yeah, let's token sniffer it, bruh. Okay, so now that's gonna be my new word for the day. I'm gonna drive everyone crazy. My dog and everybody. I'm gonna start calling my dog bruh, and all my friends.
While you're working out and stuff like that, you get that Arnold on there.
Yeah, instead of
You
like,
got to
dude,
work out, bruh. You got to pump iron with the Yeti app. You're gonna work out.
Yep. Well, I can't say it as good as Arnold said it just there, but bruh, I'm gonna learn how to pronounce it the right way. It's important. This is important stuff. Okay, so let's try the token sniffer and see what it's going to sniff out, if anything. So I am not a robot. I'm here to look at Yeti Coin. Oh,
I'm not a robot. I'm here to sniff.
Yeah, it always goes back to that darn stable coin. Okay, so we've got it. Okay, wow, look at that, 100 out of 100.
Whoa,
Like that,
that's
man.
awesome. Wow, maybe we found a diamond in a rough here. Shout out to Selmo Fud, bruh. So,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, one of these days, you know, I believe that Medi token's a diamond in the rough. Now, remember, Medi is only a couple 100,000 market cap, if I'm not mistaken. So this one is already 10 times that, but this one is also low cap.
Man, buy fee is less than 10%, 6%, sell fee 5.9%. Hey, shout out to Selmo Fud. I'll be darned. Let's take a look at this a little bit more. Yeah, adequate liquidity. Sorry, go down a little bit more at the end of that analysis. Let's see. We got 94% burned. Huh. Creator wallet contains less than 5% liquid. I mean, I would still want to verify where this is locked up / burned, but I mean, heck, token sniffer. I wonder how long ago this was. So now you caught my attention, Selmo. That listing on CMC, when did it start again? Maybe you recover that.
It was deployed on Token Sniffer here. It says November 16th, 2021, last year.
I'm gonna actually add this to my watch list. This is pretty cool. You know, we like it when we have people of the community. Hopefully, you'll be joining our community, Selmo Fud. You got to keep in mind with your name though, Selmo Fud, as in, you know, people FUD projects, but you know, nonetheless, yeah. I'm gonna add this to my watch list. So currently speaking, it is, what is the ticker symbol? What?
It looks like it is Yeti, YETI. Let's see here.
YETI.
Yeah, let me try it again. Yeah, no, it's YETIC. I think that's one, unless it's. I hope it's not Yeti Finance. Wait a minute, maybe I got the wrong one here. I had it before. Let me go back to their website here. I've got stuff all over the place. Yeti Coin. Let's see what their website looks like. Am I in the wrong one? Oh, nope. It looks like this is the right one. So yeah, so their token ticker symbol is YETIC. Darn it, Max rugged his connection again. I left me here all by myself with my logo and my white couch. And also 2 viewers out there. How are you guys doing today? If there's anything you would like me to say, We've got some okay, all the best. I don't know what some of these crazy comments are in here, but they don't look like I don't know what they are. I don't know what language that is, but it looks like it might just be some spam. So let's just get rid of some of this weird stuff. But how is everyone doing today? Is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about here? We can definitely do that. We're going to get rid of some of these. Looks like somebody here, SS, says HLO. Is that a token? HLO? Is that the ticker symbol? Can you talk more in the comment section? I don't know exactly what you're referring to. If you let us know their SS, if you let us know what you're referring to, then maybe we can take a look at it. But I'm going to clean up this comment section a little bit here. And looks like you're back from the black hole of the disconnected host.
Yeah, it just, this thing is, I guess this camera is just way too sensitive. So again, I'm gonna get this camera. They don't cost that much. So
there's been a bunch of gibberish. I don't know if you've noticed it, Max. It's the first live stream that I've seen where there's like this weird spam, but it's like, I don't know what type of language it is. And so I just, cleaned up the chat a little bit because we don't have a mod yet, but someday we're going to have like 500 people in here at the same time instead of 5 as the channel grows, as our show grows, the Max and Larry show here on Crypto Talk Now. We talk about all things crypto, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday and Sunday. Just a quick commercial for us. Guys, drop in the comment section what you'd like us to talk about. Now he says, I don't know what he's getting at, UNVA. So this might just be a bunch of spam as well. But
it could be bots testing out to see if, their spam is working. So
yeah, it's just, I get a lot of spam comment in my normal
cool.
Video,
yeah,
never the live stream. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, looking at Yeti, getting back to, what we were talking about earlier before is Larry would say, I rugged my connection. Larry, if you can actually go to that top right below the price where it says the low and high, and you can switch that to 24-hour, go back to the 1 year high. I know it hasn't been around that long, but you might as well. So for instance, I'm gonna bring it up on my own and just to have a better look at it. From what I see here, that low is 3,690,6221, and then the high went to 367. Are you kidding me? It burned 2 zeros at one point. Currently is at 368. So between the all-time highs of burning 2 zeros and also where it's currently at, burned 1 zero. Wow, you know what? I think we should look a little bit more into this. However, on this chart,
it's not very clear. Yeah, I just pulled up the market cap chart, and I'm only seeing a high market cap. Let's see. I want to try to get into all here, and it's not letting me. So what I'm trying to determine is, for some reason, it's not going back far enough. I was just trying to see what the all-time market cap was for it, but it's not. Sometimes, Coin market cap kind of glitches or is not filling out all the info, but I think we can go. What we can do? We could try to go look at it on Dex Tools.
We might as well, because you know what? Everything I just mentioned sound really good as far as burning a zero here, burning 2 zeros, all-time highs. But when you zoom out and you click on all and you look at it on CMC, where they started off, right, on November 17th, roughly, and then from there on out, it's just been like bad,
Yeah, I wanted to kind of see what the all-time high was in terms of market cap. It's starting to pull up right now, and just guys, bear with me here. So, currently the market cap is that 2.3 million, but let's try to change this to a 4-hour chart and let's try to zoom out and see how far back we can get. Okay, so, well, right here, now I don't know if it's going to show me the what I'm looking for really is the market cap, unless I can figure out how to change it to market cap. But you can see here that looks like they had an all-time high, maybe actually. Well, they launched pretty high here. I just wish that it would show me a little bit differently. Let's try to go on the daily. Okay, so here's what's really going on. So yeah, it launched high and then it just went down. It did have a pump right here in December,
Right.
and then went down. I'm trying to see. Do you know how to look at market cap on Dex Tools, Max? I don't want to hold you on the spot, but I'm not sure how to look at. I'm
Oh, the
looking
market
trying to find
cap,
the historical market cap.
historical market cap. Oh,
So
um,
we've got the price here. I might have to fool with this offline. What I'm trying to determine is what was its all-time high in terms of market cap, so we can see.
yeah, I always view that. You know, I always view that kind of thing on obviously on CMC.
Yeah.
As far as total market cap, I mean, yeah, Dex Tools lists that, but as far as historical market cap, I don't know how that's listed on Dex Tools, to be honest, Larry.
Yeah, I'd have to do the math offline because I don't like doing math in public.
Maybe in your settings on that little wrench thing above where you just went up. See the little gear? Not there, but
Not that one. That's the
not
layout. Okay.
on the actual page. So if you go to the actual page, right below, see where it lists the price at the very top. Then you have a icon of a camera, and then you have a gear, like top right of the graph. I don't know if you see that.
Oh, okay. I'm not okay. Yeah, I see the gear. Okay.
That might be it, because to me that would make sense, but no, they're not going to have it. So I don't know. That'll be something we'll have to Google. It's just, as gamers would say, Google it, noob, or let me Google that for you. We'll have to Google it for you.
Yeah.
Look into how that's done.
I'm seeing a lot of buys come in right now, actually. So,
Like as of just us talking about it,
let's
like
see, 1724. I mean, just a little before we started talking about it, just a couple
okay.
buys. There's like a lot of small buys. There was a 1.9 ETH purchase.
I'm not saying giving us credit for it. I mean, I'm just saying like why we were talking about it is what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like this is one to keep on the radar and take a look at. We just have to learn more about it. So
that token sniffer thing is super impressive. I mean, a perfect score.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any issues with it on Token Sniffer. The buy tax. The interesting thing is the buy and sell tax with these newer tokens, that's really not that high. 6% for the buy fee, 5.9% for the sell. So that's not too bad. You're 12% round trip for getting in and out of it. So it's another one of those tokens that launched kind of close to where the bull run was last fall. So
right,
yeah,
that might be why it was high at that point, right? And then crypto regulation, and was it January, a big crash? Not to mention, Russia-Ukraine war. So
yeah. I mean, there was the time period right there, that last October, last November, where everything was just pumping, and then that's right. The regulation talk kind of scared people around January. Whenever the Russian-Ukraine war was, the end of February, that kind of put some jitters in the market. But we've been going for a while here, Max. We've got a couple people left. I think we need to probably wrap things up. Yeah. Wrap things up. So I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody, and I'll have you have the last word saying goodbye to everybody. It looks like now we have 4 people in here. Guys, again, not to beat a dead horse, join us every day, Monday through Friday, where you start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about all things crypto. We usually have an agenda of a few things that Max and I want to talk about with projects. They don't have to be necessarily ones that we're invested in. If you drop in the comment section, we'll always try to do our best to talk about the projects you want to talk about, the coins, the tokens. I want to wish everyone a happy Sunday. This is our first Sunday show. 4 p.m. Saturday, Sunday. Once again, we look to have people on the community, different developers on from time to time. If they want to stop in, just message us on Twitter or Telegram. Max has his own he has his own YouTube channel, Maximus Crypto. He also has his own YouTube gaming channel. Links are in the description. Check out his channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Follow him on Twitter. Max, I'll let you have the last word.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, of course, for tuning in to Crypto Talk Now with Max and Larry. I'm Max. Obviously, he's Larry. We do try to cover projects that stand out to us, not just trying to cover anything and everything. Because at the end of the day, if we're not willing to get into something, then why are we going to try to pass that on to anyone? Again, none of this, of course, is financial advice. We're not financial advisors, but we do try to put you guys, as the saying goes, on the plays that we could potentially be in. Today's hot topics, of course, were some of the fitness apps. I believe it was Steppen, recently listed on Crypto.com's app. Take a look into that. Real nice price action happening into that. It's also, of course, a fitness to earn, walk to earn, run to earn, crypto / workout app. Super cool. Again, it's on Crypto.com if you're interested in getting into that. Some of the other ones we mentioned, of course, were Axie Infinity's Love Potion. Smooth Love Potion. There we go. And then, of course, we actually had a developer earlier from the Medi Token project. So we have things like this going on for our channel. We're still growing, but nonetheless, we do appreciate you guys joining us all. And if you ever have any type of suggestions on any particular project that you want us to look into, for instance, one of our community members came in and showed us this recent one with Yeti, and it turned out to be a pretty interesting project. We'll more than take a look into those type of things. So you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned to tomorrow's show, which will be at 9 Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. For myself, Max, and Larry, we'll see you on the next one.
Be safe, guys. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye-bye.